everyone, welcome back to English TalkNest. I'm Cindy, and if you're new here, this is your cozy corner of the internet where we transform everyday English into something extraordinary. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever written an email and found yourself typing, "I'm very happy to hear from you. This is a very good opportunity, and I'm very excited"? Yeah, I see you nodding. We've all been there. Today, we're going to tackle one of the most overused words in the English language, very. And trust me, by the end of this episode, you'll wonder how you ever survived without the alternatives I'm about to share. So grab your coffee, your notebook, and let's dive in.
Here's the thing about very. It's not wrong. It's grammatically correct, and native speakers use it all the time. But here's the catch. When you overuse it, your English starts to sound flat, repetitive, and honestly, a little lazy. Think of very as training wheels on a bicycle. When you're just starting out, training wheels are fantastic. They keep you stable, they give you confidence. But if you want to ride fast, take sharp turns, and really feel the wind in your hair, you need to take them off. Mark Twain, the legendary American author, once said, "Substitute damn every time you're inclined to write very. Your editor will delete it, and the writing will be just as it should be." Now, I'm not suggesting you start using damn in your business emails. Please don't do that. But Twain had a point. Most of the time, very is unnecessary. There's almost always a stronger, more precise word waiting to be used. And here's what really excites me. When you replace very plus adjective with a single powerful word, you don't just sound more fluent, you start thinking in English differently. Your brain begins to access a richer vocabulary bank. You become more confident. People listen more closely to what you say. So let's make that happen. Let's start with something simple. Imagine you're describing your day to a friend and you say, "I'm very tired." Okay, fine, but what kind of tired? Are you just sleepy or are you completely drained? There's a huge difference, right? Instead of very tired, you could say, exhausted. This means you're completely worn out, like you run a marathon. Drained, when you're emotionally and physically empty. Burnt out, perfect for when work or stress has taken everything from you. Do you hear how much more vivid those words are? When you say, "I'm exhausted," people immediately understand the depth of your fatigue. There's no need to add very. Let's try another one. Very happy. What could you say instead? Delighted, a sophisticated way to express joy, often used in formal contexts. Thrilled, when you're excited and overjoyed about something. Ecstatic, this is next level happiness, like winning the lottery or getting your dream job. Overjoyed, when happiness literally overflows. Notice how each of these words carries its own flavor, its own intensity. That's the beauty of English. It gives you so many ways to paint with words. Now, let's look at very cold. Freezing, when it's so cold you're shivering. Frigid, a more formal, dramatic way to describe extreme cold. Arctic, think polar bears and ice caps. Bitter cold, this phrase is perfect for describing harsh winter weather. Here's a pro tip. When you learn these alternatives, don't just memorize them. Use them in sentences. Write them down. Say them out loud. Your brain needs repetition to make these words feel natural. Let me give you a few more quick examples. Very big, enormous, massive, gigantic, colossal. Very small, tiny, minuscule, microscopic. Very smart, brilliant, intelligent, clever, sharp. Very bad, terrible, awful, dreadful, atrocious. Very good, excellent, superb, outstanding, exceptional. Very beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, breathtaking, magnificent. Very ugly, hideous, grotesque, unsightly. Now let's take this a step further, because fluency isn't just about swapping one word for another. It's about understanding nuance. It's about choosing the right word for the right moment. Let's say you want to describe someone who's very angry. You could say furious, intensely angry, like steam is coming out of your ears, livid, so angry you're almost speechless, enraged, violent, uncontrollable anger, or irate, formal and sharp, often used in customer service situations like the customer was irate about the delay. But here's where it gets interesting. What if the anger is quieter, more controlled? Then you might say indignant, angry because something is unfair or unjust, resentful, a slow-burning anger, often kept inside. See? Same emotion, different shades. That's what makes English so expressive. Let's try very sad. Miserable, deeply unhappy, often for a long time. Heartbroken, when sadness comes from loss or disappointment in love. Devastated, completely shattered emotionally. Dejected, when you feel defeated and low in spirit. Despondent, a more formal word for a deep, lingering sadness. Now, I want you to imagine you're writing a story or a journal entry. Which sentence sounds better? She was very sad after the breakup. Or, she was heartbroken after the breakup. The second one, right? It creates an image. It evokes emotion. That's the power of choosing the right word. Let's look at a few more advanced swaps. Very important turns into crucial, vital, essential, imperative. Very interesting turns into fascinating, captivating, intriguing, compelling. Very scary turns into terrifying, horrifying, spine-chilling, or petrifying. Very funny turns into hilarious, hysterical, side-splitting. Very boring turns into dull, tedious, monotonous, mind-numbing. Very weak turns into feeble, frail, fragile. Very strong turns into powerful, robust, sturdy, resilient. Here's a challenge for you. The next time you catch yourself about to say very, stop, take a breath, and ask yourself, is there a stronger word I could use? Even if you don't remember the perfect synonym right away, just the act of pausing and thinking will train your brain to search for better options.
Now, before we go any further, I want to make something clear. I'm not saying you should never use very. There are times when it's perfectly fine, especially in casual conversation. If you're chatting with friends and you say, "That movie was very good," no one's going to judge you. It's natural, it's easy, and it gets the point across. But here's the key. Don't rely on it as your only tool. Because when you're writing a cover letter, giving a presentation, or trying to impress someone with your English, you want to showcase the full range of your vocabulary. Also, English has other intensifiers you can use instead of very. Words like extremely. The weather was extremely cold. Incredibly. She's incredibly talented. Remarkably. He made a remarkably quick recovery. Exceptionally. The service was exceptionally good. Absolutely. I am absolutely certain. Utterly. The room was utterly silent. These add variety and sophistication to your speech. But again, even better than using intensifiers is choosing a word that already carries that intensity. For example, instead of extremely hot, scorching, boiling, sweltering. Instead of incredibly beautiful, stunning, breathtaking. Instead of absolutely certain, positive, convinced.
All right, let's make this practical. I'm going to give you 3 scenarios, and I want you to think about how you'd upgrade your language. Scenario 1, you're writing a thank you email after a job interview. Instead of, "Thank you for the very good conversation," try, "Thank you for the insightful conversation," or "Thank you for such an engaging discussion." Scenario 2, you're recommending a restaurant to a friend. Instead of, "The food was very good," try, "The food was outstanding," or "The food was absolutely delicious." Scenario 3, you're telling a story about a difficult day. Instead of, "I was very tired and very stressed," try, "I was exhausted and overwhelmed." See how much more impactful those alternatives sound? They're not complicated. They're not obscure words that no one uses. They're just more precise, more expressive, and ultimately more memorable. Here's my homework for you. This week, keep a very jar in your mind. Every time you catch yourself using very, mentally put a coin in the jar. Then challenge yourself to find a replacement. By the end of the week, you'll have trained yourself to think differently.
So here's what we've learned today. Very is a crutch. It's comfortable, but it's holding you back from sounding truly fluent. When you replace very plus adjective with powerful, precise alternatives, you unlock a whole new level of expression. You go from sounding basic to sounding brilliant, from repetitive to remarkable, from safe to sophisticated. And remember, fluency isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about expanding your toolkit, one word at a time. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to try a new word and stumble over it. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What's one very phrase you always use? And what's the alternative you're going to try this week? Drop it in the comments below. Let's learn together. And if you found this episode helpful, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode of English TalkNest. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, your English is absolutely amazing. I'm Cindy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!